Hello again and welcome to another dungeon walkthrough. This is SD from the Violent Night gaming community, and today we're going to be looking at Scarlett Halls. Now this has been revised somewhat for Mists of Pandaria, so here we go. The setup yet again was myself tanking, Zorf healing, and we pugged 3 DPS. Okay, first up is Houndmaster Brawn. Now this is a boss with 5 abilities. The first of which being Piercing Throw. He throws a knife at a random target which inflicts damage and applies the debuff Bloody Mess. Now I'll get to Bloody Mess in a bit. The second ability being Death Blossom. He will jump to a target and spray knives in 360 degrees. Anyone within 5 yards of this ability gets inflicted with damage, and this will also inflict Bloody Mess as well. Now we'll get on to Bloody Mess now. This is a stackable DOT. It damages every 2 seconds for 10 seconds, and it stacks to a total of 10 times, so you've really got to watch out for this. At several times during the fight he will call one of his dog ads into action. Now he'll do this at 90%, 80%, 70% and 60%. At 50% he'll hit Bloody Rage. Now this is an enrage. The boss gains 50% attack speed and 25% attack damage. At this point his dogs will turn on him and they'll start adding to DPS, but you still have a job to do, so get him down. Next up is Armsmaster Harlan. Now this is a boss with 4 abilities. The first of which being Heroic Leap. He leaps into the centre of the room and inflicts 100% weapon damage for 8 yards within his destination. Immediately after this he performs Blades of Light, in which he spins. Each hit from this spin inflicts 50% weapon damage for 6 yards, and he spins a lot and fast. Now you have to be careful of this because this is classed as a deadly skill. If you're caught by this too many times you will die. The third ability being Dragon's Reach. Now this inflicts 80% weapon damage to all targets in front of him. So you've got to make sure that you're not in his reach for this one. Get round the back of him. He will also use Call for Help. Now this summons 2 Scarlet Defenders. Now these take 90% less AoE damage, so you need to single target them one at a time. They have a heavy armor buff, which means that they take less damage for a certain period of time. After this heavy armor buff has gone, they actually take 150% damage more than usual. And finally, a slightly difficult name to pronounce, Flame Weaver Kurgler? Either or. It's the final boss in this instance. Now this is a boss with 6 abilities. The first of which being Bookburner. He will attempt to set books alight. He sends a fireball from himself over to one of the bookshelves. Now this can be intercepted if you wish to. It means you take damage yourself, but it also means that it doesn't spawn the next ability, which is Burning Books. Now this is an AoE, and it inflicts damage to all players within 25 yards of the target. It will continue to do this every 5 seconds for a total of 30 seconds. Having this on the ground makes the next ability slightly more difficult. The next ability being Greater Dragon's Breath. Now with this he moves to the centre of the room and casts a flamethrower that slowly circles around him. With the AoE of Burning Books in effect, this means that you have to make sure that you're nowhere near that AoE and the flamethrower at the same time, so make sure you watch out for these. The fourth ability being Quickened Mind. Now this is an ability as such, it gives him a buff. The next 3 spells that he casts, cast almost instantly. The fifth ability being Fireball Volley. Now this is fire damage to all targets within 35 yards. You need to make sure this is interrupted, because this is a very, very deadly skill. The last ability being Pyroblast. Now this inflicts damage, and it puts a DOT on you that hits for every second for 8 seconds. And there we go, that's another one done. I hope you've enjoyed this dungeon walkthrough. It was nice to see how this has been revamped for Mists of Pandaria. I've been SD from the Violent Night gaming community. Come and check us out at www.violentnight.com. Please give this video a like and a subscribe if you feel inclined to do so. I apologise for my snotty disposition. I will see you next time, hopefully with a less runny nose. Thank you. Goodbye.